Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome if you're new. I'm Stacy, and today for our Friday sketch session we're going to work in my gouache sketchbook that we have out. I've already set up my page, put on some washi tape, and we're going to do some practice gouache paintings with my big Myia set. I got it out. Here, let's switch this over. This is the big Myia set of paints. I did not unhook it. Take our lid off. Just set it on the floor for now. I'll go ahead and... Everybody looks pretty moist from when I did mix these, each one. If you watched my setting up my travel gouache palette video, you saw me mix these all up and give them, reorganize them in a different colorway from the way I had them before. The way I had them before was a little haphazard. These ones are separate from these ones, of course. These I have this way, as you can tell, and these I went this way. I tried to keep like the blues with the blues and the reds with the reds, like the red oranges. There's the oranges over there. There's only so much you can do, right? And the creams and neutrals kind of over here on this end. But there is a brown over here. It's just the way it worked out. So I have out some brushes. I have out some water. I had out some towels, but my granddaughter and I painted earlier. So I'll grab another couple towels out, just in case we need them. We have I just snatched these out because they're not watercolor brushes that I use often. Princeton Heritage Round Number 2 for details. A Robert Simmons Sapphire, I forget what it is, Filbert, number 8. And this is a Princeton Snap Filbert, number 12. I like the length of this one. I haven't used it in a while. There's a little bit of fuzz right there. I try using a flat brush for these, for gouache, but I don't really care for the flat brushes I have. I may end up going to Michael's next payday and picking up a small set of flat brushes for gouache painting, because most all of my good paintbrushes are for watercolor. We're going to be working in Pixabay, which is a royalty-free site, and this is one of my collections. Can I go back? Will it let me go back? Oh, here. And collections. As you can see, I have a bunch of collections on my... This is on my tablet, my iPad. And I thought we would start with my sky one, or beaches, and maybe just sift through and pick a couple that stand out to me to start painting. We'll start there. Let's see. I don't want anything too complicated, but I don't want anything too simple either. Ooh. I do like this one and this one and that one. That one's kind of nice. Alright, we're going to start here. I'm going to just kind of stand this off to the side over here so it's within shot of what I'm doing. But you can pick anything to practice with. You can pull reference photos off your phone or use your computer, whatever you need to do. I'll set those guys right there. I'm going to start with the bigger brush. And we're going to start with the moon one because that's pretty. Actually, let's start with the snow scene and the moon scene. And then we'll go over here and we'll pick a couple to do long, and then we'll work here. That keeps my arm out of the paint. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So we'll do the light snow scene up here, which is going, and I have out my little, oopsie daisy, my little well, it's not little, it's an 8-inch porcelain palette that has some of my, what do you call these? Granulating, my Schmincke granulating paints, which I put in my big M Graham palette, but this is what's left over in this palette. We're going to use this section for mixing when needed. So, here we go. Enough talking. Enough chit-chat. I'm going to start with this really light blue. And we'll just... And you can work with this as a watercolor. You can work with it pretty thick if you want to. I tend to go kind of in between. Let's grab a little scoop of paint out. And grab some water. Thin that out a little bit. And then, there we go, that's better. Just to give it some movement. Go ahead and throw down a nice light blue base coat. I think on both of these. Actually, we'll just do this one first. I do have my heat tool out, so we can heat tool in between if we want, or you can just let it dry naturally. Gouache does dry pretty quickly, which is nice. Okay. And then maybe we'll come in right away with a little touch of this pale yellow. Put it here. And a touch of white. And kind of make that super pale. And I'm going to put it... Actually, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put yellow in this painting. It's more strictly white. So we'll do that. A little bit of white here. I'll let that mix. Got some like that. Yeah. And there's a little bit of darkness going on as well. So I think I'm going to grab, that's black. And this is a like a Prussian blue. It's very, very dark. Maybe we'll grab just a smidgen of Prussian. Just a touch. See, just a little touch can just contaminate that whole thing, right? But I don't have a gray. Teeniest bit of black. Kind of make a blue-gray color here. Ooh, okay, that's nice. Perfect. Well, this is still a little damp. We can come in here and I'm going to rinse some of this out. Get most of that water off. And come in here and create some cloud-like areas like this. It's a little dark through here. It's a little dark through there. I don't know if I like this brush. Maybe I should have dried that undercoat, right? Grab that light blue. Pop that in on top. Trying to create like a stormy feeling sky. Like that. Does that work? Yeah. Oh, it's a little glary. There we go. It's a little stormy feeling, isn't it? And we can come down here and get in some little, just some little stray maybe just use the tip of that brush and then create some little upsweeps right there. Tap in some color there. Okay, so down here at the bottom we have a little bit of like bright spots through here. So I want to drop those in. See, there we go. Touch of bright spots, right? I'm going to zoom in just a bit. Scooch this over just a skosh. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. And then I think for this area down here, I'm going to get in some glints of snow like that. Okay. And I think I'm going to take a heat tool for that because it's very wet right now. And that's one of the joys of painting with, I have way too many cords over here. I had to move things around because my granddaughter was in here wrestling around. It was one of the joys of gouache is that you can, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. You can dry it and paint on top, which is what we're going to do right now. I am going to put in some pine trees, kind of poking up into the sky. And I'm just basically going to put in some dots, some little pine tree-esque marks like that. I just want some dark area. Sorry. I gotta get used to talking a lot again. I've been so quiet the last couple months. My throat gets really dry really fast. Like that. Maybe a couple up there. A bit right here. Because we're going to come in and put snow on top. And you'll see oh, my eyes watering and everything. Hold on a second. I put my nose. There we go. Alright. I'm back. Sorry. I had to blow my nose and then I had to pee and then I had to talk to my daughter for a second and I felt like I was dying for a second there. Sometimes the cough attacks hit and my eyes water so bad I can't see anything anymore. And I'm just dabbing in where I see the dark colors in the reference photo, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be like the gist, right? The gist of what's going on in the reference photo, like that. And then I'm going to take a bit of this gray and I'll put in the bit of a building that's kind of blocked from the snow. there. Like the snow is super deep. You can only see this much of it. Just a hint of that line right there. Let's see. Clean my brush a little bit. There we go. Sorry about my creaky chair. It's I'm just going to drag some of this green paint across to create that shadow of a rooftop. Right there. And just a little darker back here. Like that. Good enough. And then it has a little chimney as well, so a little bit of dark back there and then a little chimney right here. If it even reads that way. It's so small you can hardly see it. And then we have treetops kind of back over the top of this hillside, kind of back here, like that. Okay, and then we're going to take pure white and come in here and get in kind of some textures, sorry. Some glints of snow on hills through here. Like that. And then there. Right there, a big mound. And then right here is a big mound. Like that. And then we can come in a little bit of gray, doesn't need to be a lot, kind of throw in some dark shadows here and there to give it some depth, I guess. Like that. Maybe a bit back here. Right under there, back there. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, cool. Now let's take some, dry the brush, take some white, and put our snow, because these are pretty dry now, on our tree, but remembering not to cover all of it, right? Leave some of that green peeking through. Nice blob there. Let that green peek through. Once again, you don't have to cover everything because there'll be shadows and little bumpy shapes, right? Oop, that's kind of a lot of paint. That's alright. That's alright. We're just gonna roll with it. Okay. I'm kind of just dabbing, seems to be, because it's so small, the way to go. We are going to do some in-depth tree studies this year as well. I would really like to get good at painting snow on things like snowy forests, and it doesn't have to be like photorealistic, but I would like it to be like believable, you know? So we will be practicing that at some point this year. Maybe when winter hits, we'll start our winter painting sessions. We'll do all kinds of winter scenes and snow on things, and maybe coffee shops and hot chocolates. And I want hot chocolate. I do love a nice hot chocolate any time of the year. It's one of my favorite warm drinks. It might even top coffee sometimes, or chocolate in the coffee. That is even better. Pardon me, excuse me. I took a big drink of water a minute ago. Come in here and get in some pure white dabs. Dab, 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 dabs. Like that. Maybe a little bits on that roof. Okay. And I feel like I want to come up here and kind of muck around with the clouds a bit. Do a little bit of dry brushing on top of all this dark. What's that? Maybe not quite that dry. Let's see. Glance at my reference photo here. A little bit of, yeah, that's better. It's a little less samey everywhere. Give it some little bit of interest up here. Maybe a bit over here. And come in kind of down right there. How's that? I kind of like it. Alright, that's that one. Leave it alone. And it'll look much different after we take the tape off. And that's the exciting part of doing these exercises. So you do all the paints, and then you get to take the tape off, and you'll see. It's going to look great. Okay, so this next one we're going to do the moon scene down here, and then pine trees. So we need our moon, which is going to be right here. I'm going to go ahead and make a circular shape with water. I'm going to use this gray blue color that we have mixed already, and some white. We're going to come in here and we're going to just drop that in where I want it to be, like that. Dig it? Alright, and then I'm going to take my Prussian blue with a bigger brush. This Prussian is so great. It's very strong though. It's very, very strong. I'm going to touch of black in it to kind of make it that nighttime-y color. Touch of water. So just to make it move, enough to make it move. Maybe some purple. I usually put dioxazine in, but that'll do maybe. Let's see. Come up here and get our dark nighttime sky in above that moon, and then from right about there I want it to start looking a little murky, like a little less dark, right about there. That looks good. I like how dark that is. Okay. And then go ahead and let it kind of look a little cloudy around that moon. right through there. And you can put your moon in on top later. We can freshen up the moon after we're done doing this part. Remembering, this is just a sketchbook, so this does not need to be a completely like crazy amazing finished piece. I'm going to grab some of this mid-tone blue right here and mix it in right here. Touch of Prussian. Touch more Prussian. Ooh, that's way too much. Alright, let's make a mid-tone kind of blue right there. Okay. We'll put that in through here. Like this. I'm going to be bold about it. And like I do with watercolor, I'm just going to pull this color all the way down to the bottom. Just really a little bit of water. Give us some movement like that. Pull that down like that. Does not need to be perfect because we're going to put trees on top, remember. But direction lines matter, so do that. Okay. Grab a touch of white, mix that in here. I'm going to go ahead and put in kind of a misty like that. Mix, get rid of some of that color. Get rid of some more. There's quite a bit of dark blue on there. There we go, that's better. While this is damp, I'm going to go ahead and drag this color up. I don't want it too wet because see it just made a mess right there. I'm going to pretend that's a cloud. We can take our dark color, mix that in here as well. Kind of just bring it down like that. How's that? I do like that dark. Looks nice. But I don't want it to be too dark. I do love this Prussian blue. It's so great. Kind of just smooth that out a little bit right there. Right, looks terrible right now, doesn't it? It sure does. We're going to go ahead and give it a little try. There we go. It dries pretty quickly. I mean, just a quick blast of heat and you're in business. I'm going to put down the big brush. We're going to switch to the medium-sized one. And this is that filbert round, or filbert number 8. And I think before we get carried away with anything else, I want to crisp up my moon. Just a bit. I picked up the contaminated part of my white. And the moon's not perfectly round, so you do not have to make it perfectly round. There's divots and marks, and for the most part it's round, but honestly you don't have to be too crazy about the edges. There we go. Good enough. Alright, there's our moon, crisped up a bit. And then take a little bit of the gray and do that. Just give it some interest. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Now let's put in our tree line, which is very purpley blue. So I'm going to throw some purple in here. And maybe just a little smidge of Prussian. See, that Prussian is super strong. Okay. Then we can come in here. I'm using the side of the brush, not the flat part of the brush. I'm going to come in and just... Actually, I think I need a little glow back there. So first, let's put in a little glow. Take this white right here and this mid blue that we're still using. Is that gonna be enough? I don't know. I feel like it should be, you know, pop more. Oh, you put a little of this in there. And a touch more white. I'm really sorry about all the coughing. I don't want it to be super white, but I definitely want like a misty glow. I'm going to put this on with the brush real quick, like that. Take my finger and kind of just smoosh it in. Like that. Do I like that? I want this to be a little more moist. There. Instead of using the brush, I'm just going to come in and create some misty glow back there. And when we put the trees on, it'll filter through, right? We don't want it too light up here. But yeah. Okay. There. That'll work. Alright. Now we can put our trees on. Once again, I'm going to use the side of the brush, load it up nice and full, flatten it a little bit, and come in here and start pin that down a bit so it's not bouncing. Start putting in our forest. Let that glow through. I'm digging that glow, that's nice. Okay, and then to be a little heavier through here, I think I'll take a little bit of this blue. Just a touch of white to soften it. There we go. And a bit of lavender. There we go. I like that. Okay. I'll pop that in. Make it a little heavier in a couple of areas. Like that. Down here. Okay. Just a little darker. And I like that the colors aren't fully mixed together. Gives a little bit of interest, right? We're going to put a tall tree there. We're going to put another tallish tree there. And then we're going to have some trees go right over our moon. So I'm going to pop that one in there. Our moon is just starting to rise over those tree lines. It's not quite high up in the sky yet. Like that. And for me, this is super fun. I'm sorry if you're bored, but I'm having a grand time. I'll go ahead and put in a bigger tree right there. Kind of a mid-sized one right there. And then over here it gets nice and dark over on this side. So I'm going to grab that Prussian, mix this up. And this is rewettable, so whatever color you have down is going to reconstitute. Just so you're aware of how that's rocking out for me right there. Go ahead and put in trees like that. A touch of black. Mix that in. Just a bit of water, just a bit. Just enough to make it move. And then maybe some more Prussian. And a bit of this blue here. This nice blue. That's nice and dark. Yeah, I like that. Okay, that's what I need. Because the bottom of this reference photo is forest, so there's textures, but I mean the photo doesn't have textures, but the forest would have textures, right, if you were looking at it. So remember that your painting does not need to be smooth. It can have textures. Think about what you're painting, how it would look in real life, and where those textures would be, and how they would feel. With the light bouncing around. And okay, let's come up here, pop in our dark tree right through here. Get a little bit of darkness on this guy at the top. Like that. Do I like that? I think I do. I think I do. Okay. Now we need some. I need to wet this brush just a bit, just a tiny little bit. And we need some dark right there. Like that. Kind of coming down into that purple. And if you have different tools that make different textures, don't be afraid to use them to blend and stuff. Almost done with this one. Coming in through there, like that. Let's get this guy right through here. That. Maybe there's another one through here. Coming down like that. Got some right here. Yeah, that looks cool. Alright. So far I'm pretty much liking this. I think my sky through here is a little too dark, but that's okay. That's why we practice, so that we can figure out how to make it look the way we want it to look. My upper sky is super dark. This mid area needed to be a bit lighter, and I need to practice doing gradients apparently. And a gradient would have been nice through there in the background. We could paint over this, but I really don't want to. Kind of digging how it looks right now. With all the purples and whatnot. I think I should stop fussing with it now. I'm gonna leave it alone. Alright. There we go. And it will look really different when I take the tape off as well, once again. Alright, up here we're going to do a pink, we're going to do a pink and blue sky. I'm going to take the blue, and we're just going to dash it down. And if you want, you can let some of that creamy color of the paper seep through. And I'm kind of dry brushing some textures into that sky like that with the blue. And then I think I want to take some of that orangey color, that orange red right here. Kind of put that in here and there. It's super vibrant right now, but we're going to fix that. We'll fix it. Nobody panic. Come down. Come in like that. Maybe a little bit up here. The reference photo I'm looking at, the reds and oranges are pretty intense, but they're next to a pretty deep purple blue, so we're going to put some of this purple blue in here as well. Kind of smudge her around like that. I know it looks haphazard, I know. Alright, now I'm going to grab white. Boop. Boop. And we're going to come over the top. And I'm going to... Oh, that might not work. I need more white. There we go. Do this. Let's muddy that up. Yeah. Muddy, streaky, ridiculous. I dig it. Okay. And then down here, I don't remember which reference photo I've even made. Because we're going to go ahead and do a silhouette trees over the top of this. So it doesn't need to be perfect, but it does need to be believable, right? As a sky. As one of those crazy skies. Let's see. Where's that blue? Just a touch of it. Sweep that in. Just drag it around. It's too intense, but that's okay, because I think I'm going to take some of this dark and kind of tame it a little bit. like that. Good. Okay. Some dry brush. Get some of those cool sky, those weird sky textures in. These clouds are crazy, man. They're crazy. Grab some more white. Come up here. Get in some textures. Come over here. That dark blue is contaminating too much. Let's grab a little more white. There we go. Remembering if you put too much water down, it's going to reactivate the stuff underneath. And you might not want that. So be mindful of how much water you're using with gouache. That's what I am having issue with, is learning how to, and with watercolor too. For a long time, it took me a long time to get any semblance of how to control the water to paint ratio. Okay, where's that? I think I'll put a little bit of this bright in here as well, like that, kind of over the top. I'm very much digging how that feels. I'm just gonna drag it through. That's pretty, okay. And I could play with the sky painting forever, so I'm gonna kind of move on, and we're gonna do our silhouette trees in a second here. Put a little bit more, digging that orange. Yeah, I dig that orange. Maybe just a touch of white to give us some little bits of pastel. Yeah, I dig it. Okay. I'm gonna come down here. We're gonna grease in some orange, some of this right here. I'll put it right here, so that it looks like it's skimming down through the sky, like that. Okay. Now down here, we have a silhouette of trees. So I'm going to take black and Prussian and mix those together. I'll go ahead and plop that down, super intense, right there. Ooh, that's cool. I'm going to use the tip of the brush and get in some distant trees, some shorties, a couple long ones, like that. Distant stuff. Nothing crazy. Like that. There we go. We'll switch brushes. I'm going to grab this teensy guy. And we are going to get that dark color. And I'm going to put a tree right here. And right next to it. Like so. I'll grab a little more Prussian. Darken that up. Okay. Touch water. Over here. One right here. Right here. Off the page. On either side. like that. Okay. And now we're going to come in with, you know what, I think I'd like to use a different brush. Where's that wedge brush? This wedge brush is a favorite for making tree, like shapes. I really like it. And just switch the angle up a little bit here and there. Give our trees some branches going in different angles with different hardnesses of the brush, different weights of paint. Kind of really darken up this area up here. You don't want to obliterate it, but you do want it to be pretty dark. I mean, on this tree down here is pretty full, like that. Okay. Really nice mark making brush. I really love this brush. So if you can get your hands on a wedge brush, it is triangular shaped. When I first got it, I was like, what is this? I'm not going to like this. And it has quickly become one of my favorite tree and mark making brushes. If I want to do a forest painting, a pine forest painting, this is the one, because it makes a perfect pine tree point. Not that I need that right here, but it does. It makes a really perfect pine tree point. Now we're going to sweep a couple branches out like that. Maybe put a couple sweeping around down there. How's that? Yeah, I kind of dig it. I feel like I should do a little more, like, haphazard, heavy marks, right? Like that. Maybe down here. A few things come together. Darken this bottom part up a bit. You know, that's where the trees are emanating from. Yeah, I dig that. Okay. Done with that one. It's interesting at any rate. Let's see, what else do we want to do? Let's do something soft and page 2. Ooh, that's pretty. Let's do a tall one. Ooh, excuse me, I've just burped. Sorry about that. We're going to do sunset over water. We're going to try to do a gradient. I'm going to go purples. It looks like purples to reds to oranges to yellows, right? So, deep purpley blue. purple. Nowhere near that dark though. Yeah, let's throw in some lavender. There we go. That's a little less terrible. Lavender. And we're going to go ahead from lavender into like a red-orange color. I don't want it to get too gray. Let's just put them next to each other. Don't fuss about, right? No fussing about. To maybe a brighter orange. These we can go ahead and play with a bit. That down to maybe this yellow. Oh, that's kind of pretty. Let's soften that yellow down like that. Not digging how dark this is up here at all. Take this lavender, throw that over the top. Maybe a touch of white in there. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay. I like that a little better. Really mix that white in there a bit. Put that orange up. Kind of pretty. Oh, I was going to put water down there, but totally spaced that. What would the water look like, you guys? It would be reflective of the purple, right? It would have all of the colors in it. But perhaps a distant skyline or a distant line like that. Horizon line, that's what I was looking for. Maybe a touch of turquoise. Let that dry. Because we can come over the top with maybe a little bit of yellow and I need to clean these brushes better than that. There we go. With a little bit of yellow and let's grab some soft yellow and just graze our surface. Grab some of our orange and just graze that surface like that. Ta-da! Done. Okay, good job. Now that other one that I wanted to do was very pretty. Where did it go? It's kind of smoother as well. I think it's on page 2. Yeah. It's kind of a smooth, soft, purpley sky. with grasses down below and a little tree on the side. So let's do our sky first. I really want this purple. This one, just going to put it in a couple of spots and grab my white and a touch of water. Come in here and really have a little bit of fun with mark making for clouds. Okay. And down here, got a little bit of glow, like cream coming through, so I'll leave that. I'd like some of this pale blue in here as well. Down here. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Kind of grazed over like that. Excellent mark making brush, you guys. Really nice for mark making. Come up here. Get this blue. Some poofy clouds. Kind of like this yellow that I made over here. It's too green. I don't like it. Okay. I'm going to use this brush, this filbert, to make some cloud shapes. Like that. It's kind of pretty, right? A little bit of water. A little bit of sun glow happening. Doesn't look anything how I want it to, but it's alright. That's why I'm practicing, because I am super new to gouache and how it works. and I want it to work the way I want it to. That's better. So little bits of white through there. It's a very haphazard looking sky, but that's alright. The sky can pretty much look however you want it to look, especially if you're doing a silhouette of any kind. Just going to take this Prussian again and drop it in down along the bottom. Sorry, touch of black as well. And then do some little flicks. Actually, we can use this wedge brush to come in here. Get some grassy textures happening. Oh, whoa. Get rid of some of that straight line. Make the grass a little bit denser, a little bit taller over here. This is where a tree is. And our tree is kind of off to the side of the painting. Over here. So, I guess just a bit of water to get some movement. Take another drink of water. Might not be the best brush for making tree branches. There we go, that's a little better. Kind of a creepy looking tree, isn't it? It's alright. It's alright. Here, I'm gonna have lots of little and here's where it's good to have like a little pouncer or something to oops, that's too much. It's alright. We'll just put that brush down for now. Just a little pouncer to give you a little teensy dots and textures and for leaves and branches and things like that. I have one. It's in storage in New York. And that's alright. We can make do, right? Do a little bit of dry brushing. And fudging the edges of it. Like that. Make it look like it's got some branches coming down. Twigs and branches, all kinds of crazy stuff happening. Well, it's not terrible for my first gouache practice of the year, right? Maybe next time we'll just do 2 pieces and we'll concentrate on something, like drawing, I don't know. Give me ideas in the comments below what you'd like to paint with me or what you'd like to see me paint, and I will give it a whirl. Let's take all of our tapes off. I have to remember which way I did this. I usually do all the crossways ones first and then do all of these ones, but it's not looking like that right now. There, that's that one. And when you're all done, even if every painting isn't like perfect or something you want to show to anybody, and I wouldn't necessarily show these off to people. They're just my practice pages. Sorry if you hear that humming in the background. The heater kicked on. It's like 30-something degrees outside. But it is very satisfying to see a nice finished spread in your book. And this, for me, is very satisfying. That spreads. Yeah, alright, see, you remove all the mud of the tape and the extra paint on the outside edges, and it's not half bad, right? I don't think so. I think my favorite is this page. Or maybe that silhouette one. It's kind of cool. The gradient's not too bad. And I am on a whirlwind of practice for all of my stuff this year. You guys are coming along for the ride. It's gonna be fun. We got a sketchbook to fill up. So this was our painting session for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know which one's your favorite of all of these. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.